And we are live. So welcome to another Coach's Corner, or I think I'm gonna call it the Bench Corner with Nick. So I keep getting this question about weight training. And I've got it many times. Nick, should I weight train? Is heavy weight training bad for me? Should I go higher reps, low reps? And is it bad? I want to look at it more in terms of, is it bad for fighting? Is it bad for self-defense if you're doing your Krav Maga? And I'll tell you a little bit first, guys, from my experience and the type of training I'm doing today. Because no, heavy training, heavy lifting is not bad. Now, mind you, so I'm doing heavy training. My heavy training is mostly my legs, deadlifts, squats. This is when I still go heavy. And heavy meaning I go 6 to 8. I don't go 4 to 6. I don't do 1 rep max. I don't, I guess, overdo it. Again, why? Knees, back. I'm 44 years old. I'm solid. I've had many injuries over the years. But the thing is, those big muscles, I like to go heavy with them, right? Again, when it comes to legs, so the way I'm training right now is 2 days I go heavy. So 2 days I go, again, 6 to 8 reps, deadlifts, squats. My lunges, I'm not gonna go heavy because it's a little bit harder in the knees. But those bigger exercises, I'm gonna go heavy on. Now, obviously, if you look at bodybuilders, and like my cousin Perry's, who's been on a few videos, was a bodybuilder. Guy was huge, but had no mobility, no flexibility. He was very stiff. Now, if that's all you're doing, yes, that's not gonna help you, because what you need is functional muscle. You need to create mobility, explosive power, you need agility, flexibility. You need to be able to generate force in movement. You need to be able to create strength in like I said, basically in movement. You have to be able to move your body in many planes and many different mobility. So mobility exercises and building your strength training through functional training, meaning chops. I do swings. I do like chops across, throwing the ball, battling ropes. Just different exercises that are going to develop different type of ranges of motion through movement and not just mirror muscle. Okay. Now, don't get me wrong. When you look at these bodybuilders, these guys are strong, man. These guys are freaking strong. If you put them on the bench, they're going to out bench you. They're probably going to out deadlift you, out squat you. But the question is, can they generate that force and power through movement? And that's what you want to do. When it comes to fighting, I don't want to be strong in one plane. I want to know that I can pick it up, run with it, and throw it. That's functional. I want to know that I could twist it, I could pull it, I could push it, I can move it, jump it. I could also have the full flexibility that I need for fighting. However, like I said, everything is a balance, guys. Everything is a balance of both. So yes, again, I'm talking about my own personal experience. You could go heavy on your squats, your deadlifts, your bench press, your pulls. Those are exercises that if you want, you can go heavy, do a few sets of those, but you can just, go old school bodybuilding and accept to still have, you will lose some of that mobility, some of that flexibility, and some of that range of motion and that ability to develop explosive power and like that torque and that snap that you need. And a great example is that, it goes years ago, maybe 20 years ago. I got into the ring. Back then, you would just get in the ring with anybody and nobody really looked at, weight, size, height. It was like, yeah, okay, you just get in the ring. And I remember I got in the ring with this guy. He must have been a good 6'1", 6'2", maybe 220, 230. And guy was huge comparing to me. He was so much bigger. And I remember I got into the ring, I started sparring with him, and he nailed a few shots, and I couldn't believe he was like this. He didn't have that twisting, torque motion, the ability to generate force, right? And that torque and explosive power, because he was very stiff. And that's why I do a lot of my combat conditioning, which I have in my website, guys, nickdrossos.com, if you guys want to go check that out, where I'm pulling the band, doing the landmine, doing the chops coming up, doing chops coming down, throwing the ball, using the weight vest to do burpees, spider crawls. Again, you want to crisscross, up, down, push, pull, right? And again, it's about being able to do those movements with generating force. It's all about explosive power, right? Now you look at a car, and that's the way I kind of compare it. Both cars might go to 220, but which one has the quickest torque? Which one goes faster from 0 to 60? That's what you want to be. You want to be that Porsche 911 Turbo who does 0 to 60 in 3.2 seconds, whatever it is. Because in a fight, you're not going to sit there and make it into a sparring match. You want to finish the fight as quickly as possible. So you want to develop and you want to train to be explosive and fast. Now, don't get me wrong. Your deadlift is going to help you on that. Some of those power exercises are going to help you. But what I like to do is if I turn around and I go heavy with the deadlifts, take a break, grab the kettlebell, 20 swings. Once I do the 20 swings, I'm going to do the 20 box jumps. So it's a great circuit that follows, again, to learn how to drive those hips into motion, right? Remember, one of the reasons why I'm go heavy on the legs, because you can't launch a cannon from a canoe. What does that mean? At the end, your power comes, one, from proper solid grounding. It comes from the ground. Gravity, ground. How well can you anchor your feet to the ground? From there, it's transferred to your hips. From your hips, it's transferred to everything else. You can't have a solid punch or a solid strike without solid footwork. So it's the base. Whether you're working your footwork and agility and movement, or whether you're working it to learn how to anchor to the ground. And I always say, look at your feet as if they had hooks and learn how to they're anchored to the ground, right? And if you need to explode, you could also explode, drive up the hip. That's one of the reasons why, I do so much stuff with the band pulling me back, the knees, throwing the flying knees, because I want to work that explosive power. Because if I'm attacked in the street, I don't want to sit there and spar. I want to go from 0 to 60 in 3 seconds and finish the fight, right? That means the moment I decide to just explode, bam, I take him out as quickly as possible. And that's what you want to train for. So, if you have a training program, you could alternate it. I can't go heavy on the chest anymore because of my shoulder. My AC joint is pretty much done. So I can't go heavy. So I'm mostly using bands right now for the chest to do flies and chest press. But when it comes to the legs, I'm going heavy. So 2 days legs, 2 days my MMA, 12 rounds of sparring, fighting, whatever. 2 days of upper body, 1 day of mobility. Mobility and working little muscles like neck, working my necks. I'm working my calves twice a week. But again, working as well, don't neglect the flexibility. So now I'm also doing a lot of, I'm working on my flexibility more because I kind of neglected it. I hate stretching. And as we get older, we lose that. So your stretching, your recovery is as and even more important than your training that you're doing. So again, I guess in all of that, guys, it's all about balance, right? As much as possible, you want to try to find a balance in your workout. So again, now we're also talking, I'm looking at this from a perspective of 44-year-old, right? My knees I've had my ups and downs with my knee. I've had AC joint, ACL, herniated disc, sciatica, concussions, broken ribs. My body's taken a beating. So there's certain things I can't do like I used to do. So recovery is more important. And I have to find a sweet spot, that balance where I'm building strength, but I'm also maintaining and improving some of those body functions, if you want to say, that with time they start to digress, whatever you want to call that. So I hope you guys, I hope I answered the question, guys. Just a quick video. If you have any other questions, about training, leave them in the comment box. For those who don't know, I'm also a strength training coach. I offer online coaching one-on-one. You can go check that out at nickdrossos.com. As well as I have my hero training camp. I'm also working all my new content, my self-defense videos on my website, nickdrossos.com. And that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell, and I'll see you guys soon.